I read a poem. I don't explain anything. I just read it. Atravesar tu cuerpo, atravesarlo, como en un viaje de exploración. Rastrear, recolectar, clasificar. Documentar. Las 3 pecas del cuello, el olor de la nuca, el surco de la bífida cubierto de la nube. En un punto, llegados a lo más profundo, ambos descubrir a especie desvalida, tremulante, por extravío de ruta y ritmo de evolución. Seres mutantes por abandono, sobreviviendo a la catástrofe de toda colonización erógena. El encuentro tardío, el rastro de la huella de una conquista jamás acontecida, y con todo explorador vencido y de regreso hacia sí mismo.
Exploration. To traverse your body, to move through it as if on a journey of exploration. To track, collect, classify, document the 3 freckles on the throat, the scent at the neck, the cleft covered in peach fur. Coming together at the deepest spot, discovering a defenseless species, tremulous at losing its way, and the rhythm of evolution. Beings mutated by abandonment, surviving the catastrophe of all erogenous colonization. The late encounter, the trail of tracks of a conquest that never occurred, and with every explorer rooted, turns back on itself.
Try to describe Havana. Definiendo. Marítima tristeza de portales, confabulada soledad de las aceras. Negro el poeta, que canta la pulcritud de sus sábanas oreando en los balcones. Taciturnos noctámbulos, algo de proxenetas y de putas. ¿Y qué ciudad no tiene? Pero un azul transparente, eso sí, rumiando entre susurros cada sueño, fundido con salitre y caracola. Un despertar del sol en las mañanas, una amalgama de razas y colores, y atardeceres incomparables, donde la luz no es más que el reflejo del mar en cada lágrima.
So here's the version in English. It's called Getting to It. Getting to It. The maritime sadness at gates, the conspired loneliness of sidewalks. The poet is black, who sings to the spotlessness of his sheets, fluttering from the balconies. Closed-lipped night people, a sprinkling of pimps and whores. What city doesn't have them? But a translucent blue, that's for sure. Ruminating on each dream between whispers, forged from conch and saltpeter. The sun awakens in the windows, an amalgam of races and colors, and incomparable dusks, where light is nothing more than the reflection of the sea in each tear.
I would like to read you a poem in English called Waiting for Ulysses. Waiting for Ulysses is the title of a poem, a mode of pretending, a manner of discourse, not a matter of fact. It is a wink at Beckett, a bow to Cavafy, a laugh with Joyce, hardly a real laugh. We know how it all reads: no exit, lost illusions, dangerous relations. It is all but literature, and it is all literature, whereby we're done with waiting for, waiting out, waiting on, waiting by, and just plain waiting. Waiting for Ulysses, I am not waiting for Ulysses. He is coming to me, and no other gods are there to save him. He has some business pending here at Siren's Reef, having to do with cleansing his bad name, his bad habits, his bad breath, his bad karma. Sly of mind he is, haughty his tone, a tinge of red still on his hands. He'd better heed the call, thinks he reluctantly, lest he once more awaken the wrath of Zeus. Slightly distraught now, he hears voices. I am Circe, bent stark naked on catching the ideal husband. I bring you fantasies. Mad and drunk, you revel in my sultry night games. I am Nausicaa, secretly dreaming of the ideal husband. Chaste, I give you just a glance of me. You are enticed, but move on and bask in your own pleasure. I am Calypso, offering bed and board to the ideal husband. I charm you with my songs. You buy our wedded bliss, later get bored, long for Penelope. I am Penelope, waiting for the return of my ideal husband. I keep our vows, surrounded by my lovers. Distrustful, you come back in disguise. I am Athena. I say stop, and beware. A new Iliad has started. Paris was abducted by Helen. You are expected here at Siren's Reef at my behest. I'll give you 20 minutes to review your deeds of the last 20 years, to repent for 20 plus centuries of your disastrous mankind, to reset your genes and reprogram your values and your valuables, to reprocess your words and speak to me, eye to eye, in the language of poetry. Thank you.
Now, this one is called So That Death Never Finds Us. Que no nos encuentre la muerte. I learned to be a river so you would have a place to store your rock collection. I learned to dress as a sheep, but also to sharpen my fangs, to speak of Fridays as the altar where all sorrows lay to rest, to put my trust in small coffins so that no one notices the catastrophe, to count backwards as if falling, with lists in our pockets, so that death never finds us, with no bread, no garlic, no orange juice, with no detergent, no toothpaste, no teeth. I got used to investing my prayers only in deities of sand or paper who can undo their temples when they fall and never dare to bite. I learned to be a pitcher, thirst, tsunami. I know a silence as sharp as a hurricane's eye, but also know how to break down my ship at the sight of a flower. If we played hide and seek and you're still counting, if when they read your poem, they gave you the wrong path. If you see this poem in a well and you fancy drinking it, be patient. I've been learning and leaving splinters if you're still in my search. And although the nearest forest doesn't know any of my names, I remember how to surrender at its feet. The poem I'm gonna read, it's called Kintsukuroi, the beautiful Japanese tradition of once porcelain breaks, fixing it with gold, putting it back together with gold so that it's even more valuable and beautiful. I think it's something that we unknowingly apply to all of us, but that we should be more aware of. Kintsukuroi. Of the internal fissures that you cannot reach with your tongue, the anguished streets where voices of invisible child still call upon us, or the extinct species that once flew around the whole house. Of those parties where drunk we once made love and madness until we fused them into one burning iron giant. Of the footprints in circle, in vertigo, in flight, tracing with golden threads the paths that no longer exist. And the tallest branches reaching up, ablaze, feeding the belief. and the laughter of the girl who still brings flowers to your chest, even now that names are simply that. Of the irreparable, for example, the scar on the right wrist, the ankle that cannot stretch, lightning behind the pupils. Of the thirst, the bestial hunger, the boiling womb, salivating through the corner of the lips and squeezing your legs, tremor, shame, paleness, blankets soaking with secrets. Of the first war and all those that followed, or the first time you realized you too had a demon between your bones and you wished to chain it, to vanish it under the rocks, and you wished to punish it eternally in the farthest tower of the spirit, and you wished to weep in a corner forever, spilling your sorrow on the deepest well, spilling your veins without return, hearing your voices chorus, this isn't me, this isn't me, this isn't me, not anymore, towards the place where no one could reach you. Of that which is untamable. For example, the rebellion of a rose during winter, the blood in spite of copper wires, rats playing in twos through the sewers, the cardboard constructions that once were castles, the legends of faith and reconciliation, I don't know, ingenuity included. Of all of this, we do not speak in public. Of all of this, we do not think in public.
Hi ha tempesta, hi ha trons, i encega tant l'ombra que ens matem en cogombres. Ens odiem tan internament que ni el millor vident podria descobrir el secret d'aquesta mala llet. Som massa centenaris a recordar. Som multitud d'enfrontaments i humiliacions que hem de netejar. Són molts patiments i abusos que ens han embrutat. No som purs, però em sent de deslligar de les al·lucinacions que ens fan definir éssers humans com massapans. Jo ploro, perquè ja no escolto la realitat. De sobte corren rius de sang i ni així ens enfrontem a la covardia eterna, ni als enemics, ni a l'inquisidor que ens enlluerna eternament amb la seva llanterna. Realment som presoners del nostre nihilisme reprimit. No creiem en la raó, sinó per patacords. Alguns em diuen que no sóc prou català perquè dic en lloc de Altres, amb molt rancor, m'obliguen a ser espanyol perquè lo ponen al pasaporte. Però quin dret teniu a jutjar-me sense preguntar-me? No sóc cap esclau, ni objecte, ni algú que camina recte. Sóc un ésser humà nascut als Països Catalans, que ha anat pel món endavant i sense haver de comparar, té tot el dret a dir que se sent català! Thank you.
It's called Let Me Choose Who I Am. There is thunder. There are storms under shadows. We're so blinded that we're killing with cucumbers. So internal is our self-hatred. Not even the master seer could disclose the secret of this sour bile There are too many centuries to mark. There are oceans of conflicts and humblings to cleanse. There are sufferings and abuses that have sullied us. We are not pure, yet we must loosen the ties of our hallucinations that would have us classified human beings like marzipans. I cry, I cry, I cry, for yet I hear no sound of liberty. From nowhere, rivers of blood flow. Even then we face neither eternal cowardice, nor our enemies, nor the Inquisitor dazzling us into eternity with his lantern. Truly, we're prisoners of our repressed nihilism, slaves to our fears, believers in reason only to break hearts. Some with envy tell me I'm not Catalan enough for saying A instead of A. Others grudgingly oblige me to be Spanish as it says so on my passport. What right have you to judge me without asking me? I'm neither slave nor object, nor someone who follows the path. I'm a human being born in the Catalan countries, who's hurried by through the world, who with no need of comparison has the right to say he feels Catalan.
Fish, fishy flopping, popping, squishy-eyed fish. Fresh fish, black on grey, speckled back from froth rot fish. Bony fiend fish, bearded, spiny, white water spune fish. Flippering down, clouded by muddy water fish, rising green, murk hidden fish. Tugged back, arrow-skulled, gill-filleting fish, cursed fury breaching arc of a silver blade, sun-lunging, twice cursed, line-snapping fish. I will lift you by your mouthfish, or you will leave mine empty. Onward. English translation first. You rose to closet, put a coat on wings. Tip-tap, tip-tap, tip-tap. Weaving yourself from all that is badly roofed, you spoke your head against a star. Tip-tap, tip-tap, tip-tap. To unpearl in that open place, thus owled. Heeren, sheeren, heeren, sheeren, heeren, sheeren. You opened embers to blow up the sky. You bent down into a hand. Heeren, sheeren, heeren, sheeren, heeren, sheeren. You capsized a child with waves of time's and tempo's rhythm. Swift swallow. Swift swallow. The letter T is a wing. The clouds are the smoke from each second's explosion. Swift swallow, swift swallow. Misplacing yourself among golden paper. Now I own everything. Wagtail kiskady, wagtail kiskady. They hold that crouching is good, and later they bethink it. Wagtail kiskady, wagtail kiskady, hook and gyre upon a wing, prepositions the article piss-piss, piss-piss, piss-piss. The some-portent vault dunt, up over the trees, peck-tick, peck-tuck, peck-tick, peck-tuck. Light is a roof beam, and you will only open toward a blue heat. Subiste para escaparate. See, I already made a mistake. Again. Subiste para escaparate. Abrigaste las alas, taque, toque, taque, toque. Tejándote de todo lo maltecho. Te dijiste la cabeza contra una estrella. Taque, toque, taque, toque. Para caperla en este abierto. Por lo tanto, lechuza. Cucarachero, cucaracherita. Cucarachero, cucaracherita. Abriste las brasas para volar el cielo. Te agachaste en una mano. Cucarachero, cucaracherita. Cucarachero, cucaracherita. Zozobraste un niño con las olas del ritmo de tiempo y tempo. Chuchicachoscua, chuchicachoscua. La letra T es un ala. Las nubes son el humo de la explosión de cada segundo. Chuchicachoscua, chuchicachoscua. Te embolataste en papel dorado. Yo lo hago todo. Chiribibicho fue, chiribibicho fue, chiribibicho fue, chiribibicho fue. Dan que agacharse es bueno y después lo empiezan. Chiribibicho fue, chiribibicho fue. Gancho y girar sobre un ala preposiciona el artículo. Pis, 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 pis. Lo aportante abovedándote por encima de los árboles. Picotic, picotac, picotic, picotac. La luz es una alfarda y solo te abres hacia un calor azul. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a poem of Carlos. The poem is Risas de cocodrilo. No te engañes. El de la foto, tan sonriente, ya era infeliz. Tú lo sabes, bien lo sabes. Contémplalo ahí detrás, público o comparsa, borroso, incluso en primer plano. Sonríe, aunque esté muerto. Si le pides que se adelante, no da sombra. Convéncete. Solo la sombra no da sombra.
Crocodile laughter. Don't be fooled. The guy in the photo with the big smile was already unhappy. You know that, of course. You know that. Consider him back there, an extra, one of the crowd, out of focus, even in close-up. Smiling, even though he's dead. If you ask him to step forward, he has no shadow. Convince yourself. Only a shadow has no shadow. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Elisa.
Tenebres que continuen perseguint-te. Taranyina saturant la raó. Obscuritats que porten la llum i et fan veure qui no ets. I ho saps, saps, saps. Ai, quin mal, ai, quin mal, ai, 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 ai. Ai, quin mal, ai, quin mal, ai, 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 ai. Ai, quin mal. No escoltis les tendències sota la catifa. El consumisme agònic sense parar i les rentades de cap cròniques que et fan comprar. I comprar, i comprar. Ai, quin mal, ai, quin mal, ai, 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 quin mal, ai, quin mal. I recorda que sempre ets nu i que les veritats i mentides són imposades. Ara saps qui ets. Algú inflat amb putes químics i realitats. Tots, tots. Ai, quin mal, ai, quin mal, ai, 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 quin mal, ai, quin mal, ai, 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 quin mal de cap. Thank you.
Shadows and cobwebs.
Yeah.
Shadows that continued hounding me. Cobwebs blocking my brain. Darkness that bears light. That makes you see who you're not. And you know, you know, you know. Ah, the horror. Ah, Turn a deaf ear to the trends under the carpet, never-ending bleeding consumerism, and the dregs of all these chronicles that make you buy. Ah, the horror. Ah, remember you're always naked, and that lies and truths are imposed. Now you know who you are. Someone pumped with images, chemical products, and lit illusion. Ah, the horror. Ah, my head.